And everybody, even society right now, has fallen in line unbelievably that this has got to stop. People have got to stand up and say, I have a voice. Even you guys, you have a voice. You have a right to have a voice, even if you don't agree with me. But to tell you that you're a fucking moron or you're stupid or that, it's the same BS as why I speak the way I do. If you want us to stop speaking the way we do, then maybe you guys should still question how you guys are talking to us.
I usually reserve the obnoxious talk for those who have shown a disregard for the truth. I mean, not for the what is claimed knowledge, but it's when they don't honestly think through the answers that are being given to them. Whether they're right or wrong, they don't honestly give it a fair shake. Like, let's say somebody who just has, something about gravity being described to them, and they're saying, well, how do things stick to the bottom of a ball? It's like, well, no, the gravity explains that. Now, you may not believe in gravity. You may not believe that that's a
Right?
thing, but you understand the concept that the ball and water curving around the outside of it makes complete sense if the model that we're describing is correct. And they won't even go to that level of, the
But
understanding
does
level
it
of,
make sense? I mean, the things
yes.
that I get it. But for me, even as a kid growing up, I sat in school and I'm like, none of this shit makes sense, and they make it not make sense on purpose. So you can't understand it and leave it to the people that are above you because they got it.
But
And until
Stacy, we in here
2019, and
understand
I
it.
did the work in researching, I didn't get it. But I'm saying you guys think or no, doesn't matter, that you understand something. But when you're in school, please tell me you seriously sat there and were like, yeah, that makes perfect sense what they're telling me right now. Even gravity
Well,
to me now is like, what? And the whole bending of space time. Every time I hear
no, no,
space
no.
time, I go, ta da! You know?
Bending of space time is above my pay grade. I really don't understand that, and I don't need that to prove to me that there is a apparent force that makes things happen. That I can see and I can touch the apparent force. I can't tell you the cause of said force. So,
You
like
can touch
now,
the apparent force that's holding me down. You can touch gravity.
I can do experiments and I can see it. It's evident.
Dropping a microphone is not an experiment. It's just
That's
an
not the only
observation
Right.
of
thing.
this thing.
I haven't
You can
been
let you
another
can let
one, which
you can let go of helium balloons. You can watch them go
Mm-hmm.
up. You can drop down items. You can watch
all
them go
right.
down. You can
Thank you.
look at the water. You can. That's what I do. We look at the actual world that we're in, and the world that we're in has nothing to do with any sorts of gravity. You have
Okay.
things that go up and you have things
Mm-hmm.
that go down. We don't
All right.
subscribe
I'm
a
going to
pseudo
stick to my
force
word and I'm
to
just going
that.
to leave because this is not worthwhile talking about. Have a nice day, Stacy.
Sorry.
You too, sweetie.
I didn't want to
think,
get involved. I didn't want to get involved too much. I just wanted to
no,
kind of
no.
elaborate on that. You're sitting there saying, "I don't need to understand the bending of warp and the space time,"
Right.
and I'm trying to say to you, but you're still subscribing the bending of warp and space time when you talk about gravity, because
Yeah.
that's what it is.
That is what they teach you now too. I mean, so if that's what we're going to go by and that's what they say, then that's what we need to talk about. And if we don't understand, if your guys are saying you don't understand it, that's fine. Guess what? I don't understand it either. Never seen it, can't bottle it. Just told, hey, space time. That's why I laugh about it, because it's something that nobody can hold and grab and put in a bottle and show me that it's real space time. And we're bending it. What is space time? People don't even understand that. How you bending it? And that's going to be an excuse for water sticking to a ball and so beautifully. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't
They're,
for me.
they're
I
not.
don't
They're
think
not.
it does
They're
for
not.
a lot of people.
They don't try and think for themselves. They're just like, oh, I heard it was gravity. Oh, therefore accept it. And oh, look, things fall down. Oh, gravity does that. Things go up. Oh, yeah, gravity does that. I don't want to think any more than that. I just want to accept what I've been told, and that's it. I don't need to understand the bending of warp and space time. So
Right.
it's an absolute joke. You know
And
what I
this
mean? Like you
gravity's so
call.
strong it can make water bend around a ball, yet it's going to make helium. Well, yeah, it's fine.
And
Doesn't affect that at
yeah.
all. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Someone's comment here. The warping and space time is equivalent to the force from frame reference. They are not mutually exclusive, which means what? If you would like to elaborate by having a conversation and explain what that means, because anyone could just text something that they've copied off the internet, and then what am I supposed to make from that? Them few words there, absolute fuck all. Stay. Don't let them get away with that shit when they turn around and say, "Oh, I don't need to understand the bending up of space time." No one's asking what the cause of bending up of space time. This is gravity. This is what you believe, that it's been pulled from all directions around a ball, and
Yeah.
it's holding the water down, like you say. They need to understand it if they believe it. If you believe it, then
Right.
you need to have an understanding of it.
Beginning of it. Yeah. That's what we spoke about earlier, question, but it's like and I'm not putting this person down, but for someone who's going to speak about something without having the knowledge of it, then how can I take that as honesty? I can't. It doesn't. Nothing applies to me then, because if you don't understand it, I need to talk to someone who does then. Because until I have actual information and proof of being a space-time, I'm not just gonna believe somebody. No, because again, I'll get information from somebody like that, and then they go, "Well, I don't really know because I'm not in that field." Nobody really knows because it's all BS. And the thing is I could defend. I heard it all too earlier, but I told people I'm not here to debate today. I want to be in a good environment and a good energy. But I heard words like concept. Oh, I don't know much about space-time. So of course my brain's going, oh damn it. Like you're going, wait a minute, don't let them get away with that. And I'm like, today you're getting away with it, son of a bitch. But if I did, I would just be in a big argument by myself over here with how many people attacking me, and it'll end up into an argument.
So I kind of got involved a bit because I could see where he was going with that. He was just trying to sneak in like a little snake. I don't really need to understand gravity to talk about gravity. I just have to accept that I can see things falling, therefore it's gravity. It's like the logical intricacy. Yeah, it's just fucking a mental fucking break in his thinking. He needs to think a bit more critically. Like, I don't need to understand everything about. I just need to believe it. That is just pure faith. You're taking what someone else has said on faith.
Agree.
I think there is an alternate explanation.
I have no clue about. Like, I know how to fix your house right now. No, I don't.
There's an alternate explanation. There's an alternate explanation for the way the things that we see in the world. But if you're not willing to take them seriously, then how are you ever going to learn that the one that you know is to be true? The one you've been taught is the one you've been taught. You don't know if the one you've been taught is true unless you explore everything equally.
Yeah, I'm a curious man myself. I've always been a curious man. I'm curious, Brian. What are these alternate explanations?
You've heard them before. I'm sure you've heard them before.
You know what it is, Coach. So come on.
No, I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm making some spaghetti, and so I'd be glad to
spaghetti. Relative density isn't the one we're going to go with today. You know, it's just the way the world is. The way that the nature of the world has hard things at the very floor, water on top of the hard things. Then you have, your gases above that, the water, and then as it gets higher in the air, the gases get thinner. So there obviously is a gradient in the world that we live in. There's a gradient on materials, on everything. It's not just a gradient with the atmosphere. The actual entire world is a gradient. But you're factoring out the solids, and you're factoring out the water, and you're just going with the atmosphere. Ignorant.
I agree with you. I've seen that. Actually, I thought about this before about volcanoes and what they spew out and what lighter material might exist even in the solid liquidy material that might be in the earth. It's coming out of the volcanoes, and it's they're finding their place in the gradient. But I'm curious, like you said there's alternative. So I understand a mechanism to create this gradient, but what creates this gradient in the alternative theory?
Well, I think.
Why is there a gradient?
Well, there isn't a gradient because of gravity. That's one theory. The other theory is just that it's the nature of the world, and we need to explore them alternate reasons to find out. You know what I mean? But if you don't, the reason the whole world isn't working towards them answers because they're all gobbling up the typical rhetoric that gravity is the reason.
I don't think they did the work. Vibration, because if you put salt on a sound plate and put out a frequency, it'll organize in any shape you need. That could be your gradient, side to side or up and down right there.
Lemon, what'd you think of that last night with them guys over in Ranty's? That was interesting.
That was an interesting discussion. Right, the hand, goes super philosophical. The only thing that's real is particulars. And I'm trying to tell the dude that, your particular brand of realism is nice, but you can't do science with it because it doesn't have room for interactions beyond an empirical demonstration. It doesn't leave room for theory or demonstration because it's so focused on particulars. But I got what he was saying, that the rock is real as opposed to the acceleration, which is a concept. But it's a concept that relates to reality.
What's that? This frequency that you speak of. what is it? Is it a frequency of vibration of the individual molecules? Is it a frequency, a radio frequency, electromagnetic frequency? What is this frequency?
Something's moving back